Welcome back to HPL. ek0p finds himself up 2-0 over Muzzy. So far, his control strategies have not been working for him. And if you go look at his profile in the past, check it out on pvplive.net. He has historically done very well with aggressive strategies. They didn't work against Dog, but Dog was just fantastic in queuing up the right decks at the right time versus Muzzy. Just a very strong read that he has. You know, part of the reason why he's 2-0 here in HPL. ek0p and Muzzy both 0-1, and ek0p on the brink of putting himself back into that even position. And Muzzy, this is a terrible time for him, and he's got to find a way to turn this series around.
Yeah, it's a terrible time and a terrible spot. He's down 0-2, really needing to win, just having to win 3 in a row now. And we saw a reverse sweep yesterday, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. So we're gonna have to see if we're gonna see another reverse sweep here. And you know what? We're getting started in this game. Let's see what Muzzy's gonna queue up and try to get on that winning foot.
Yeah, guys, get out there on Twitter, use that hashtag HPL, let everyone know exactly what you think these players have to do to win these series, and if Muzzy could turn it around or not, who you're supporting, all that stuff. And look at this, down to aggression. Finally, he's queuing up these aggressive strategies again. This is what I think he should be rolling with until he's got stronger reads on exactly what his opponents are doing.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be going face early and often with this Hunter deck. And you know what? ek0p's just going to re-queue up Warlock.
I mean, why not? I mean, it's been working so far. And Muzzy, this is looking more of a mid-range style here. Freezing Trap, not only a big indicator of that, but of course the Lotheb, and he kept Quick Shot in his opening hand. With Face Hunter decks, typically you want early game minions. You want to be drawing quick shots later in the game. Get past those taunts, get that extra reach that you need. Try to get the repetitive damage out of your minions while you can. So the fact that he's using Quick Shot here for removal is a very big statement on how he intends to play this strategy. Play for the board.
Yeah, this is something that we touched on earlier before the match, that if Muzzy is going to queue up an aggressive deck against ek0p playing Warlock, which we were talking about maybe Handlock, he can really punish him with the Hunter hero power here. It's very good against a deck that takes so much damage to use its own hero power.
Yeah, in this matchup, it's really going to be a grueling fight for the board.
Oh, and summon random Huffer. That's a pretty good one there for Muzzy.
It's okay, but ek0p has got Implosion. And Implosion, I think, is, you know, this is almost more of a sigh of relief, I think, for ek0p than anything else. He knows he's going to be able to kill this minion. If it's Leok or if it's Misha, he has to roll 4 to kill it. And in the meantime, take some extra damage there and invest some more attacks in this. But, you know, think very happy to see what's going on here. Gets the full.
Yeah.
It's the full four. That's a tongue twister, man. He gets 4 minions off of his Implosion, and pretty fantastic stuff for him now. Freezing Trap completely checked at this point. That is almost a dead card. Knife Juggler is a blessing in disguise here. You know, he can pick off some of these imps. Maybe that's the wrong one.
That was not the minion that he wanted to get knifed there.
This could spell big trouble for Muzzy at this point. ek0p with a lot of options in his hand to leverage this turn however he sees fit. He can trade this up and go with something more powerful like Void Caller. He could even play Defender of Argus, just enhance his combat and go from there. I mean, the world is in ek0p's hands right now.
Yeah, he can use his Defender of Argus if he wants to pump up his creatures, let them trade in, get the secret out of Muzzy's deck, which if it's a Freezing Trap, then it's a pretty good one to get out of the way. But if it's an Explosive Trap, it could be very bad for him.
Yeah, at this point, you know, the Explosive Trap, I don't think he's too terribly worried about it because he's got that Nerubian Egg, but I have to believe he's going to focus on board control here. Muzzy has dealt him very little damage so far, and he's already got only 3 cards in his hand. So when you couple that with the fact that ek0p's hand is so stacked, I mean, look at his turn 5. He's still got the potential for Defender of Argus. He's got Knife Juggler. He's got Imp Gang Boss, and he's got the Sylvanas afterwards. He's all but got kind of a stranglehold on the way this game's going to pan out.
Yeah, and you see him actually push for damage there. He's going to put the trading emphasis on Muzzy. He's going to make him have to make plays that he doesn't want to make. And Muzzy's going to develop his board with Lotheb here. That's a pretty good minion to have on turn 5, but it's not going to shut off anything in ek0p's hand here.
Yeah, nothing is going to be done from that one. So just once again, you know, none of these attacks look very appealing for Muzzy. I think he's happy to be killing minions that are on the board, but that Void Caller just feels so dangerous to me right now. And once again, Acidic Swamp Ooze in ek0p's deck. I mean, this could potentially pay off like in big time later on if Muzzy draws something like an Eaglehorn Bow.
Yeah, it's going to be great at destroying an Eaglehorn Bow or even a Glaive Zuko later out of Muzzy's deck. So, you know, we talked about it last game. He probably wasn't happy to have it in his deck against Muzzy when he was playing Mage, but he got to mulligan it and never drew it. Thankfully, it wasn't ever just a 3-2 for 2 with no text. But this game, it's going to have text. Yeah, and text could be potentially devastating as well. So, Defender of Argus up on the Nerubian Egg, not a surprise. Of course, it looks to me like, hey, he's just going to push for more damage here. He has the other option of trading into this Mad Scientist and maybe getting the Freezing Trap procced with that Imp,
but he doesn't know exactly what traps are going to be in Muzzy's deck so far, so he's playing a different game plan. He wants to trigger that freezing trap potentially with the Defender of Argus.
Yeah, that's one of the better ones to get returned to your hand here. Anything with a battle cry effect obviously is one of the better stuff, one of the better minions to trigger a freezing trap with. Now, when you get to have their traps happen under your own timeline, when you make them the way you want and you're not forced into bad situations from Hunter, that's really where you want to be. He's got a high life total and the traps are working for him instead of Muzzy.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the liability of playing powerful cards like that are, very kind of swingy, is when they're effective, they're extremely effective, and when they're not effective, they are really not effective here. And neither of these attacks look very appealing for Muzzy. I mean, I have to believe he's got to kill one of these minions, right? He can't just keep taking damage, can he?
You just attack it and cross your fingers. Hopefully it's not anything big and great. And he's got to be okay with Imp Gang Boss,
well,
as long as it's not like Mal'Ganis or something.
Mal'Ganis, oh my gosh, I'm just coughing at the thought of it. But ek0p's here, no shortage of very effective options that are going to be used this turn. So going to think about, whether or not maybe this is something like Snake Trap and that could affect the board position. It could be Explosive Trap. He's going to take everything into consideration here before he really decides how the rest of his game is going to go. Right now he's trying to figure out which trap is going to benefit him the most.
Now, you see him with Imp Gang Boss in play and another one in his hand. Couple that with the Knife Juggler in his hand. He's got some pretty nice damage set up for the next couple turns, as well as advancing his own board. You're going to see the Knife Juggler here, and you're probably going to see some attacks from Imp Gang Boss and play a few more out and try to pick off this Lotheb for free.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what he's going to do here.
Yeah, he's going to try to get a good roll this time.
Knife Juggler's such a good minion.
Yeah, it's so good. It was like the first rare I think I ever opened in Hearthstone, and I just put it in every one of my decks.
Why wouldn't you? It's just so good.
Yeah.
It's like shaping the way that aggressive decks play their strategies.
Since 2007, as you would say.
So the first struggle, no success. But second one, maybe. I mean, it's got 3 very good targets here. He can even get one more juggle. Right here, he could run the Nerubian Egg into this 5-1. That's exactly what he's going to do. Obviously not one he wants to leave behind. And then 1/3 of these juggles is very efficient right now.
No, but it actually goes to face, so that's fine.
I think he's happier to see it go face than it is to the Piloted Shredder. So, something working out, but Muzzy, none of these cards are very good right now. Houndmaster has no beasts. Kill Command, once again, it can kill a minion, but no beast in play. And ideally, you want Kill Command to be, giving you something other than just trying to fight from behind. And Freezing Trap is terrible in this position.
Yeah, Muzzy is behind in this game, behind on board, and down 0-2 in this match. He really needs to get something going over this next turn or two, or he's going to find himself in a quick 0-2 hole here in HPL.
Yeah, this is going to need to be a mighty good Shredder drop. And not too good right now. Again, 2 Imp Gang Bosses in play. Just gonna throw it out there, like, yeah, well, for the man who has everything, I guess I get a good drop off your Piloted Shredder as well.
ek0p made a pretty good face too when the Mana Wraith came out. I love seeing players' reactions when cool things happen in games.
It is throwing off his curve a little bit here, though. Can't play 2 minions in the same turn. Have to see what he draws again. Just Muzzy, no action here. I mean, Houndmaster's gonna get run over completely. The Mana Wraith already checked, and then once again, Freezing Trap just not doing a ton in this position.
I think he's trying to consider if he wants to Kill Command this Knife Juggler and use his hero power this turn. It's a clean use of mana, but it's not the best play you've ever seen in your life. You don't feel great about it.
He knows that ek0p's got Defender of Argus in his hand too, so just kind of checked every single step of the way. This is really the power of those early game strategies. When they get rolling, they can completely dominate your opponent, and that's exactly what you're seeing here. So ek0p, once again, going to take some time, figure out the best line of play, and make sure that Muzzy stays completely choked in this situation.
Yeah, I think the best line of play here is just start attacking the Mana Wraith, proc this trap, start getting minions spawning off of your Imp Gang bosses, throw a bunch of knives, and figure it out from there.
Yeah, no shortage of very strong options from him. Yeah. Defender of Argus looks pretty darn good here as well.
Yeah, I think we're going to see ek0p start with attacking here, make a minion, and see where this knife goes, and then that's going to shape the rest of his turn.
No, I don't think it matters too terribly much. I think he's happier to see it go to the face than he is, to see it go to the Houndmaster. But it looks like he's just going to drop Sylvanas and go from there. He's even got Void Caller to back. I'm sorry, the Void Walker to back that up.
Yeah, he's got a great use of mana here this turn. He's going to need to throw a few more knives, attack with this Knife Juggler. You got to believe this Knife Juggler is going to go to the face here and just try to end this game over the next turn or two.
He's just throwing his knives, man. That's what he does. Yeah, so Muzzy just, I mean, this would need to be, I don't even know, 8-mana Deathwing is really what he would need in a situation like this. That wouldn't even work. It would just, the Sylvanas would just steal it. Yeah, this is pretty much it. ek0p has got a dominant board position. He's got card advantage in every step of the way. He's even got his hero power. He's at 26 still, so there's no pressure on him. He's free to draw as many cards as he can with that hero power. And just, once again, Muzzy out of cards completely and nothing to get the aggressive ball rolling.
Yeah, out of cards completely and out of time here in HPL. He's down 0-2 in this match. This is match point for ek0p. So if he wins this, he's going to move on and win. If Muzzy wins this, he still has to win 2 more games. You know what? It's not looking good.
Yeah, this is looking absolutely terrible. It's just a matter of time for closing it here. ek0p has locked this game, man.
Yep, Defender Arts is going to come in for the second time this game. That's the second time that copy of Defender Arts is played. He's going to attack Muzzy down to 8, and Muzzy's going to top deck a Haunted Creeper that's not going to be good enough. Looking for maybe a Doomsayer just to get enough attacks out of ek0p here to not die. But you know what? That's going to be it. We're going to see ek0p win this match 3-0 over Muzzy, get back to 1-1 in HPL, and Muzzy falls to 0-2.
Yeah, very decisive win from ek0p in these matches, and kind of showing you exactly, the differences between kind of Hunter decks and where they struggle and where they do well against. Against early game aggression, Freezing Trap is not the best thing in the world unless your opponent is focusing on, kind of stretching their cards up the curve. So if they play a 1-mana card and then a 2-mana card and then a 3-mana card, if you can check the first 2, the Freezing Trap can get a lot of value there. But when your opponent has a slew of options to check your Freezing Trap, or just when they have complete board control and the Freezing Trap becomes a liability like it was in that match. I mean, just everything rolling for ek0p. The fact that he queued up Zoo 3 times here, Muzzy just wasn't ready for that deck.
Yeah, you had to believe Muzzy definitely wasn't ready to see Zoo 3 different times, and you saw him really struggle with the Hunter deck there. He never got an offensive start going, had to keep trading minions and trying to win in combat, and that's not necessarily what a Hunter deck wants to be doing, and then he didn't draw a lot of his mid-game cards in the right order. He had a Houndmaster there with no Beast to give it taunt, nothing to buff up there, so you saw his deck kind of putter out there, not do what it was trying to do, and it came up with a loss for him.
Yeah, ek0p able to fit his curve perfectly pretty much in every single game. Pick up the minions killed he needed, and then also push for exactly how much damage he needed. And once again, at every step of the way, free to use his hero power, Muzzy had no pressure on ek0p, and he never, ever was once in fear of dying because he had to use his hero power in desperate situations. So ek0p closes out the series 3-0. When we come back, we're going to have an interview with him, get some insight into exactly what he thought Muzzy was going to do and why he chose to play the same deck effectively 3 times in a row. Don't go anywhere, guys. When we come back, some more Hearthstone stuff. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.